Germany's history is one of the most complex and consequential stories in the modern world. It is a history marked by extraordinary cultural achievement, catastrophic violence, moral collapse, and determined reconstruction. Few countries have risen so rapidly, fallen so completely, and rebuilt themselves under such intense historical scrutiny. This is the story of Germany, a nation that emerged late, sought power aggressively, suffered devastating defeat, and ultimately chose responsibility over revenge. For most of European history, Germany did not exist as a single country. Instead, the region consisted of hundreds of kingdoms, duchies, principalities, and free cities scattered across Central Europe. These territories were loosely connected under the Holy Roman Empire, which was neither holy, Roman, nor truly an empire. Political authority was fragmented, and loyalty was local rather than national. Despite this division, a shared German language, cultural traditions, and intellectual heritage slowly created a sense of common identity. However, this identity did not translate into unity for centuries. By the 19th century, Europe had entered an age of nationalism and industrialization. While countries like France and Britain had already formed strong centralized states, the German lands remained divided and vulnerable. Out of this division rose Prussia, a militarized and highly disciplined state that believed unity was necessary for survival. Through calculated diplomacy and a series of short but decisive wars, Prussia forced the unification of the German states. In 1871, after defeating France, the German Empire was proclaimed. Germany had finally become a nation, but it arrived late to a Europe already dominated by powerful empires. The newly unified Germany developed at extraordinary speed. Its industries expanded rapidly, its scientific institutions flourished, and its military became one of the strongest in the world. This rapid transformation created confidence, but it also produced insecurity. Germany felt surrounded by rivals and feared being contained by older powers. The desire for recognition and security gradually turned into ambition. Europe became increasingly tense, and alliances hardened into opposing camps. In 1914, Europe descended into the First World War. Germany fought a brutal, industrialized conflict on multiple fronts for 4 years. When defeat came in 1918, the consequences were devastating. The German Empire collapsed, the economy was shattered, and the Treaty of Versailles imposed severe territorial losses and financial penalties. Many Germans viewed the peace settlement as deeply humiliating. This sense of injustice and resentment destabilized the fragile democracy that followed. Economic crisis and political chaos created fertile ground for extremism. Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party promised national revival, strength, and revenge for past humiliations. Through propaganda, intimidation, and violence, the Nazis dismantled democratic institutions and seized total control. Germany became a totalitarian state defined by censorship, repression, and racial ideology. Hatred was normalized, and violence was justified as national necessity. The world moved once again toward war. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland, triggering the Second World War. German forces conquered much of Europe with alarming speed, but this expansion was accompanied by unprecedented brutality. The Nazi regime carried out systematic genocide, murdering 6 million Jews and millions of other civilians. These crimes were not accidents of war, but deliberate policies of extermination. By 1945, Germany was physically destroyed and morally shattered. Its cities lay in ruins, its population was traumatized, and its name was associated with crimes against humanity. Germany surrendered unconditionally in 1945. For the first time in its modern history, the country experienced complete defeat and foreign occupation. The victorious powers divided Germany into zones, which soon became 2 separate states. West Germany aligned itself with democracy and capitalism, while East Germany became a communist state under Soviet control. The division was symbolized by the Berlin Wall, which physically and emotionally split the nation. Families were separated, and freedom itself became divided. West Germany chose a difficult path of confronting its own history. War crimes were acknowledged, education emphasized responsibility, and democratic institutions were rebuilt cautiously. East Germany followed a different trajectory, marked by surveillance, censorship, and political repression. Despite different systems, people on both sides worked to rebuild their lives from devastation. Germany learned that economic recovery alone was not enough without moral accountability. In 1989, peaceful protests spread across East Germany. The communist government lost control and the Berlin Wall fell. Germany was reunited not through violence, but through restraint and negotiation. A divided nation became whole again after decades of separation. Modern Germany is one of the world's leading economies and a central force in European politics. It avoids militarism, emphasizes cooperation, and treats its historical responsibility seriously. Germany's influence today comes from stability rather than conquest. Its history stands as both a warning and a lesson for the modern world. Germany rose faster than it understood the consequences of power. It fell deeper than it ever imagined possible. It rebuilt itself by facing the truth rather than denying it. Germany's story proves that a nation is not defined only by its crimes, but by how it chooses to live with them. If you want to learn the history of every country that exists today, subscribe to this channel. Which country should I cover next?